But yeah, if you want to jump into CrossCopy Mobile and really emphasize the what we're calling the private preview, or what I like to call the private preview, because this is ECA on text message artifacts that you don't normally get. You typically have to wait for a full image and then extract the text out of it. And this way, if you have really data privacy conscious custodians, then you can actually do a private preview and actually click on the conversation threads that you want extracted.
Nice. So targeted.
Targeted, like true targeted. Hopefully, I didn't steal your thunder.
So I'm just going to kind of show you what the custodian is going to see. And let me find my email here quick. So what they'll end up getting is an email, and the email will have 3 links. One link is for your cloud-based solutions, local drive network share, so forth. The other one's going to be for your iPhone, and the other one's going to be for your Android. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump into the Android, and what we're going to see when it gets to the Android app is we're going to see that we need to authenticate. So we're going to go ahead and authenticate the app. So we're going to let our text messages, call logs, or WhatsApp. We're going to go ahead and back that up. So we'll go ahead and back this up. And then all of a sudden, this is going to bring us to the preview section. All this is done on the Android. So all this is done on the custodian's phone. So what we've been hearing out in the world is that nobody really likes to give up their phone, right? And it's become like chopping off your right arm to try to get somebody's phone from them these days. And so in order to de-escalate the situation, we found a way to basically do everything on the phone when it comes to the Android part of it. And so when we download the app to the phone, we can get in here and we can see exactly who the contacts are, how many messages or texts they have with that person. And we can either pick the entire thread or conversation between that contact, or we can go ahead and go down and pick individual text. And so we're really able to get targeted on this.
Yeah, so this is great for when if you C-suite friendly or just custodians in general. Again, you keep pushing privacy. We've been told nobody else in the industry has done this to where they're giving this kind of granularity. Some other might say it's targeted, but it's really more kind of like hit range or contacts. But ultimately, it ends up on a web server, on a platform, through a review process. We're really striving so that nothing leaves that person's phone or system that they are aware, right? That they have complete control over the privacy of what's being picked.
And we do have date range and contact filtering available to you. But like John said, I mean, all this is set up on our platform. It's a web-based platform, so you get to pick where the data is copied back to, and it can be copied back to your Azure, AWS, or Secure FTP. So nothing comes to us at all. We're not asking for any of the review. We're not asking for any storage fees or anything like that. And now you can see I've got 31 messages that have been selected. And now we're going to go into the review or to the export. So when we export it, our first by default, it goes to RSMF. We have XML and JSON, and we're going to be adding a couple other ones that we've been talking to prospects that want to see some additional formats exported out to. And now you can see the RSMF package is ready to be exported. And now when we hit done, you can see it there that now the data has left that custodian's phone and is now sitting on your server somewhere. The other thing we allow you to do is we allow you to actually pick and choose any other data that's on that phone, whether that's videos, screenshots, or just pictures that might be relevant to the case as well. And so we can do that all in the same application, in the same interface. And then we just upload that, and that's taken care of. All of it's recorded back to our platform, so we can tell that that custodian's done, and the chain of custody is now put into place.
Yeah, and the other destination that could end up on is it doesn't even have to go to the cloud. It can go to a local hard drive that's plugged into the phone. So if you have a USB-C external hard drive, it'll copy the contents of that drive and it can be shipped. So if you decide to select all text messages instead of targeting it because that's what you want, you can do that too, right?
Okay.
So,
Nice.
and the price point's terrific. It's about half of some other remote collection vendors. Yeah,
It's like a flat fee
per unit. Yeah, yep, per device collection. So I've known John and Shane for the longest time, and they have roots in forensics, and that's why all of their tools are very forensically designed, with that integrity in mind.
Yeah, I always got the forensic hat on. That's how, we're starting. So everything needs a chain of custody, hash verification, and stand up in court, when we build these schools.
So, yeah, go ahead. No, you first. If there's more to show here, you go for it.
Well, yes. So now we're just going to show you the iPhone side of things. So the iPhone is a little bit different. We're going to download an app to the computer, to the Custodian's computer. Then we can remote in, connect your iPhone, and then of course we got to mark it as trusted and all that good stuff. But like Jerry said, we just help the client out that had. But people find all kinds of excuses not to collect iPhones or for phones in general. But the thing is whether their phones are full, they don't have enough storage for a backup. Like Jerry said, we were able to copy the backups to wherever you specify it. So we could, like on Android, we send out a USB-C external drive, or on the computer for iPhones. Yeah, we can just send out an external drive and make that backup wherever you need it. So once we pick the folder to where that backup's going to be, we go ahead and start the backup process. And now we're go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, it's even that differentiates us is we've learned that ours can get to the message review process much faster, possibly by hours, because other platforms will essentially make the backup and then try to decrypt all of the data in the backup, and then it's kind of key tech up. But what that adds to it is, depending on how much data is on their phone, it could add several hours to where you actually get to start looking, or they get to start looking at messages. And so we've shortened that cycle by just doing the backup and then selectively only going through and letting them, viewing the things that, they want to look at. I don't know if that makes sense or not. That makes sense. It's just a differentiator that we've heard about.
And once we have that backup ready to go, and like John said, we can go ahead and to start our review. And this is done on the Custodian's computer. And we just pick the threats or the conversations. And once again, just go ahead and pick individual texts, date range, contacts, and we can just get down to exactly what you need. We do have a select all. So if you want to collect everything out that phone, we can go ahead and select all and select all for iPhone and Android. So that's available to you as well. But it's totally up to you. And then it's the same process as the Android. We can kick it out to RSMF, XML, or JSON. And then we can just go ahead and upload it to your location that doesn't come to us. And that way you can get to the review process faster on your end, pushing it to relativity or to wherever you want that data to go.
Yeah, so it's not just the private preview that allows you to do things immediately locally on site, whether it's on the device for Android or on a host computer for iOS, but the way the data travels is also very protected. You're in control. It never bypasses the software manufacturer's infrastructure. But you also have the option, if you do decide to bring it in-house to Ackerman, then you can define your own storage containers or decide to do it locally to a external USB drive. So there's a lot of privacy and choice, and which is why I really was keen on this tool, because I think there's such a huge demand for it in the market and only a couple of players servicing it.
Can it go right to our staging explorer in Relativity?
Is there a relativity connector yet?
Not yet. No, we're in discussions. We've been a relativity dev for many years, and so we are. We would anticipate just being able to notify, like pick the workspace and all those types of things, and I'll be able to just push it directly in and get it there. So we do want to hook into other review platforms. Basically, it's pretty easy to ingest just because we're letting people put the data where they want instead of, again, saying, hey, data hostage, it's on our servers, and now you gotta, figure out how to get it out. So we're landing it close to where we think you want it to live, it could do some ingestion, but it would be a bonus to configure a connector, right?
Yeah.
Relatively to that review platform, and then just say, hey, okay, there's some data ready for you. Let's go ahead and, start the process.
So it's RSMF already, so it's kind of like rel friendly for loading, and then you have the choice of where to put it. I think it's just the next version or some future version where you get the straight to rel connector.
Okay.
Yeah. And on the internet side of things too, the custodian can actually still be using their phone. It doesn't have to be tethered to anything, and so that's another bonus for people that are doing remote collections with our product. Is that the phone can still be in use, and that the collection can still be going on in the background.
That's great.
Yeah, it takes some fun engineering under the hood to do that. Get all that accomplished.
Well, thanks, gentlemen. That was exactly what I was hoping to share with the Ackerman folk. I know that you all need to. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much.
I'll catch up with
Nice to
you.
meet you.
See ya. Bye.